Hey everyone, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to this video. This is going to be story 3. You can see that part of it's laid out here on the screen. This is story 3 in my December Stories album. This is an ongoing series this month here on the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for being here. I have a rather large story I'm sharing today. I think there's 13 photos. So let me show you what I got going on. Okay, so you know that I'm working in the 6x8 album from ScrapbookCom. It's the black velvet. And the pocket pages, they run about 6x8 when you're using like the open pages here. And as I've done so much already, I've been using quite a bit of out of the pocket sort of techniques already. And I'm going to kind of mix it up today. So today what I'm going to do is I have a little intro to the story that I want to do on this side of the page. And when I was kind of playing with these papers, I thought, you know, I do want a border. I want this to sort of be, the story is about getting our tree. So I thought this tree pattern paper from ScrapbookCom's Christmas patterned paper pad, that's a lot of words there, would be really good. But I don't think I love how white the border is around it. So I grabbed this paper from Heidi Swap's Hometown Holidays, and I think I do like it. It's a little light, but I'm just going to kind of embrace it. So what I'm going to do, and I'm sure you've done this before, because I don't want to use this well, when I measure this out, actually outside the page, this is 7 by almost 8 3/4. And I don't want to use that big of a piece of paper just to be hidden behind this. Are you tracking with me? So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and measure, I'll go ahead and trim this paper out in its full size. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically make a frame. And I'm going to speed that process up here because I want to get a lot in today and I don't want this to be a 40-hour video. So let me show you how I'm going to figure out the rest of this. That white cardstock that I showed you earlier, because the other side of the page is going to be white. And so then the next thing I'm going to do to work on this page is sorry, I showed you my photo is going to be on here. I've grabbed my nested pocket dies and I am going to cut a pocket from this paper that my photo is going to fit inside of. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so I've cut that out. And just as a reminder, I have here my magic mat. And this particular die set is comes with this scoring portion of the die. And I love using the magic mat because a lot of times if I use a different kind of cutting pad, instead of scoring, it'll very often just cut right through, and that's not ideal, obviously. So that guy is going to making sure my picture fits in here. It should, because this is about 4.5 inches. And so there we go. Trim a little bit of a thing here. And then using probably could use the 1/4 inch on this. I very often reach for the 1/8 inch. To add just to the fold, and then that attaches to my page. So then after I get this in place, the next thing I wanted to do, I was kind of going back and forth because I have a lot of great Christmas tree stamps that I haven't used too much of. But the other thing I also have, and the next thing I had here were these nested tree dies and this paper. I got a lot of pattern going on here, so I don't even know if that's exactly what I want to use there. Now I am questioning myself because I was going to do this, and so, what would you do? This is where I think I might come back in here with the paper that I have there, which just matches this. So nice. I love when that happens. Okay, I'm going to cut this tree next. Okay, so I not only went ahead and cut this out of the Heidi Swap paper, I went ahead and sewed right down the middle of it. So I wanted to kind of have a little bit of this thing going on, right? But then, okay, so you see over here, I was working on some cards over the weekend, so I ended up just die cutting a whole bunch of things, and this is just sort of some leftover. So I thought, okay, I want to add some layers because that's what I do. And so I have to show you these Spellbinders squiggles. This die set is called Squiggles, and they are just so cute. And so they make things like these. I am just, well, there's a leaf here too. I just cut off the stem big time. There you go. And then here's some that I did out of gold glitter. So I have them sitting here. There's also Christmas branches, I want to say. I also cut a bunch of those out, and I have some gold left over, and then I have like a piece of one here. So I want to stick that here. And actually I have another, I love all the patterns on here. I get super excited when all these patterns work, and I don't always for sure know how these books are going to work out. I have an idea of color, right? Because I gather those papers together. But it doesn't exactly mean that I know for sure how these are going to work out and how these pages are going to look. But right now, so my point is, right now, this is looking pretty green eccentric, which can totally change as my book progresses. And that's okay too. You saw in my, what was it? The gratitude album. That's basically what happened is I started off with one thing going on, and then it ended up that another thing ended the book. I just kind of want to go with it, right? And so you saw exactly how these pages, well, this page here came together, and that I knew I wanted one paper, but then I needed to kind of back it up. So that brought in a little bit more pattern, but I wanted a pocket. So that brought in the Holiday Wishes from 49th and Market. And then here I have literally these little extra things happening here. My dish here. And so I'm just kind of going with it also. And you see there's a 3 there. And what I had, I think I might have put it away. When I was working on the Christmas Ranger Distress, I had a lot of extra pieces left over. So this is the wood grain that has the mica, the 2 greens in the mica distress. Here, let me explain what I'm talking about here. It's the distress mica stain, and this is over the wood grain paper. And then I use the festive numbers dies, and I need to work on more numbers because I do want to number my stories here better than what I'm doing right now. So that is still something that is top of mind. Just trying to decide what else. I need a squiggle. I need a squiggle. Love me a squiggle. This is so much fun. This might also be an inspiration for some other Christmas cards. Because I don't have all my Christmas cards made. I've been doing batches of 5 Christmas cards at a time. The idea, I'm trying to decide, do I want this in the front or the back? I guess we'll just let it be in the back. And it kind of is adding to the other glue that's already there. What was I saying? So my Christmas cards are going to be made 5 at a time. And I am enjoying that process. And I don't have a whole lot to make. but I'm enjoying what I am getting made. I'm going to go ahead and add some double-sided adhesive, foam adhesive, to my number. And I got to kind of clean up my foam because I don't want it to show. But I thought I would need that to kind of pop up a bit. And so that's exactly what's happening here. That's what we have for that. Subject to more layering addition. Now I'm going to add right down the middle of my tree on that seam. I'm going to add my double-sided adhesive and call this good. Okay, so this page for the most part is done, short of me coming in and messing with stuff. Not that I would do that or anything. Okay, so now the next page is going to be really linear and straightforward. So I have printed these photos using an Allie Edwards template from years ago. I'm not even sure of the year. And I still had it, and so I kind of reworked it for this particular page. What I'm going to do on this side of the page is just adhere my photo paper to the textured cardstock, and then I have this space in which I'm going to type up my journaling, and then that is what is going to be on the bottom lower part. I'm looking for this. You know, I actually put it back, and yet I still couldn't find it. I don't even know what to think about that right there. So that's as easy as this next page was, or is, and I will come back at another point and add my journaling in there. Okay, so now I'm going to work inside the pocket. I have here one of the new panorama pocket pages, and this is kind of fun. So for the most part, this is also very straightforward in that I'm just popping these 3x4s in here. I did create some borders around them, and I believe, yeah, so for this part of my page, I'm trying to remember what I thought. I sketched this out. I'll show you my sketching. This is my sketching out of this, and that really helps, especially with a large story like this one is. It really helps you to, you know, kind of make a decision on what story or what photos you want added to your story. And then I just kind of went from there and decided then what and where they were going to live. I realized after the fact, I thought that these were set up a little bit differently. So here's my thing that I'm thinking through right now, and that is that I have this 6x4, and it's going to have to live on the outside because it's not really going to go inside nice. So I'm fine with that. Are you feeling a theme here? I'm fine with a whole lot of things, and it's really been a new decision in my life to be fine with a lot of things. There's so much we can't control. I, for one, am not going to let what goes in my book to bunge me up, for lack of a better term. I think one of the reasons, I know I'm stalling here, this is the podcast version of our video today. I think one of the reasons why I'm here right now is being under the influence of listening to so many of you who chime in here on this channel. And I hear, not so much actually this year, but I've heard in the past a lot of angst, if you will, about doing things a certain way, having things ready, doing December Daily every day. And I think it was last year I said that pressure is not inspiration. Was that what I said? Because pressure is not inspiration. To see what someone else is doing and feel like, oh, I have to do it that way. My big encouragement is for you to not feel that way. And if, you know, I in the past, some of this would have bothered me because of the colors. Because I'm very color centric in terms of I need things to really move together really well. And this doesn't necessarily, there's a lot of blue, there's then green and red, there's this kind of burnt orange thing. This is me embracing that. Why? Because I want the pictures. I want the pictures. I want these memories. This was a serendipity day. I didn't know this day was going to turn out like this at all. I had no expectations we were even going to be able to go get our tree on this day. And so if I have a little mishap like, oh, well, you know what? That's not actually going to fit in the pocket. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's keep moving. story number 3, the getting of the tree. I hope I made it sort of tree eccentric here. And then collaged photos, pocket paged photos, and then more photos, and the last page of photos as well. So that's how story 3 came together. Again, thanks. I'll stop talking now, and I'll see you in the next video.